welcome to another episode. Today we are working on the Mazda Miata, my personal project car, and I'm glad it's time to do that. Today we're going to be installing some oil on it, or installing oil, that's not how you do it. We're going to be replacing the oil because I got some HKS super premium oil, and it's about time. The car hasn't had an oil change since the car been made, and it currently has around 7,600 miles on it, so kind of late oil change, but it should be fine. So I was jacking up the car, putting it on the jack stands, and then we'll see what the situation is at the bottom and how we get to the oil plug. Once the car is up, as you can see, at the bottom there is a protection piece there. That right there is the protection piece that needs to be removed. Once it is removed, we have access to the bottom of the engine, and back there is our oil plug. Let's get to it. I believe oil filter as well. Need a 12mm on a little bit of a bigger ratchet, and then just go at it to break it loose. And there you go. We also have access to our oil filter right over here and our oil plug. That is great. So I recently ordered parts straight from Japan at amazon.co.jp, and I found out that yes, it is worth it to order some parts through here, since it's cheaper than getting it from American websites such as Evasive Motorsports or Rev9 Tuning or Rev9 Auto. Rev9 Auto totally, took my money, ripped me off with like 100% upcharge compared to just buying it from amazon.co.jp. I picked up this HKS themed tray. It's just a magnetic tray, which is nice just for little parts when you're working on it. I also picked up an HKS oil filter, which is the important part since we went with the HKS oil. I got an HKS oil filter. Let's open it up and see what it is, how it is inside. Oh, look at that. You get a little HKS service sticker. Neat. Doesn't really matter. And here's the filter. I got a type 1 since I believe this is what is required for the Miata. HKS oil filter type 1, and it's sealed off at the bottom for protection, I guess, so nothing gets inside. How good is the HKS product? I'm not sure. Let me actually get the other HKS oil that we're putting in. Here it is. Take a look. There's the HKS Super Oil Premium. I went with the 0W20. This is what is recommended for the ND Miata. Also, what's cool, even if it's not worth it with the performance, there is this little pouring valve which lets you pour the oil more easily into the engine, that's great to have. I do not even have a funnel. I just realized that, and that sucks. I also am struggling to find an oil tray where we can dump the old oil into. Great news, I found an oil waste storage container. It's down there, as you can see, and we can start our oil change. I think my oil is cold enough, or at least not too hot, and we're going to start to untighten. First the motor oil bolt to let the oil out, after that, and then the filter. You need a 17mm to break loose the drain plug, and then go at it smoothly. The oil, if it's still hot, that's fine. You want it to be not cold. Maybe too hot is gonna hurt you. Let's try removing the oil filter. I don't know if we'll be able to do it with hand. Yeah, it's hand tightened, so there's not a lot of force that needs to go into it. There it goes. Come on. I am not sure if it's required, but a good practice that I always followed is to pre-fill my oil filter with some oil before putting it into place. With the Miata's placement of the filter, how it is, it's the oil filter goes at the bottom, which means you can pre-fill it without spilling and tighten it back on. HKS oil has a very cool design. It's in a metal bottle or aluminum bottle or whatever it is, out of some kind of metal, and you have a little ring here, so it's like a safety lock for the oil. You pull this up like so, or to the side, pops it, and then you can remove this, I believe. There we go, and remove. What you do is you get a flat head and just pop it off like so, and in here we have another ring that seals it, and like that. That is a great system. It locked it in 3 different ways. That is ready, and now we should set up the camera for the bottom, plug up the drain hole, and put the new filter in. The car has been lowered from its jack stands, and we are ready to go. I went ahead, put down, as you can see. Oh, there we go. Can you see it? Yeah, I put on a rag around the hole of the engine where we're going to pour the oil. Why? Because I always spill oil, and this is a clean engine, or more clean than any of my other ones, so I want to keep it still clean. So I put a little rag around it, and should be fine. Here's the engine oil. Let's get started. We have a 4-liter jug, which is equivalent to about 4.28 quarts, I think. This engine needs 4.5 quarts empty, so we will pour pretty much the whole thing, and then I will see how it is. And if it's only one jug that you need for the Miata, that would be perfect, because one jug is, I think, $50. It is more expensive oil than going to your Walmart picking up some Mobil 1, which is also good oil. I've been using it in my daily driver, but I wanted to go HKS, something straight from Japan with a little bit more quote-unquote performance. Like they say, it is a tuning part, not just an oil change. How valid that is, I don't know yet, but it is HKS oil, and it should be still very good. The additives in it and the rating that it has are very good, actually. I will stop right there. There's still about, I think, a quart or half a quart in the jug. I will let the oil settle, and I'll check the oil level. Let's put that into place for the time being, and close this up as well. There we go. Remove this. A little bit of the oil did spill, but less because we had the rag on, which is great. Seems like I had been worrying for nothing, because one single 4-liter jug that you get, that you can buy, and it's around $50 plus some shipping. I bought mine from Evasive Motorsports. I did buy a filter from them as well, but the filter that I bought, they said it's in stock, but then said, oh, sorry, it's 3 months out. So that's unfortunate. I also went ahead and bought a filter from Amazon.co.jp. It was cheaper there as well, and they delivered it quicker. So buy an oil filter from Japan, Amazon, and buy your oil from Evasive Motorsports, simply because Amazon does not sell the oil. I think it's just shipping it over from Japan to here is a bit of a hassle for Amazon, and there's some probably regulations for shipping on that. But yeah, a single 4-liter jug, because I have two. I bought 2 4-liter jugs because I was like, I think I heard at least on the forums 4.5 quarts is what is needed for the ND2 engine, and ND1 I believe as well, of motor oil. But since not all the oil leaves the engine when you do an oil change, it is okay to just buy one 4-liter, which is around 4.2 quarts, and that is enough for a full oil change, which is great. That brings the cost down more than I was expecting, because I was expecting to have to buy 2 4-liters, which is a little bit over $100 with shipping, which is a lot for a single oil change. The other jug would last you for a couple more, I think like 3 more oil changes after that, but this way you just need only one 4-liter jug and the oil filter. Hope that made sense. I just talked about it, and like it's not even fully making sense to me. But yeah, I'm letting the oil settle right now. I checked the dipstick, and I didn't even pour the whole jug of the 4 liters, and it seemed like it was pretty much at the high point on the dipstick. I'll let it settle. I'll turn the engine a little bit, run it for a couple minutes, and then turn it back off. Check the oil again on the dipstick, and see what we come up at. Check this out. This is the oil that I poured into here, and as you can see, it's up to the top and the perfect 4 liters. This is all the oil that we drained. I put it back into the same canister that it came with, or actually where our new oil that we put in, and this will go to the recycling plant or whatever. I can drop off oil simply because you have to do this properly and not just dump it down the drain or dump it down anywhere. Don't dump oil, take it to a recycling plant or wherever they take in oil. Great news, 4 liters of HKS oil, or any kind of oil actually, is the perfect amount to do for an oil change. Some of the oil from the last oil change is still left in there in the engine because not all the oil is drained through the drain plugs. And when you add 4 liters, it is the perfect amount. It's about like a millimeter or 2 below the top or the overfill line on the dipstick, which is perfect, I think. And that is a good amount, and you can just pour the whole 4 liters in there without any worry. The oil change is done. It wasn't that long actually. I took much longer because I had some friends come over. We talked about some Miatas, you know, and well, I was just admiring the engine and just chilling. But yeah, happy to get new oil into here. It was really worth it, and I mean, it was about time. Almost 7,600 miles on the first oil, but because I had the Mazda oil, I think it was fine because that stuff is flexible and the engine adjusts timing, I believe, when you have flexible mode on, which is great. But now we have the HKS oil. I put in a fixed limit of 5,000 miles, which I think is a good amount. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will catch you guys later on another video of another mod or something else. And yeah, that was great. Fun times. See you guys later.